I'm slightly out of breath. Old generator update. I put new fuel line on, and I started it, and it was loud. I realized there was something loud before, but I didn't know if it was a generator or the engine or what it was until I really got it going. And it was so loud I had to put hearing protection in. And I was thinking rod knock, and it only fired for maybe 10 to 20 seconds. It ran, and then it stopped. It stopped solid. So sadly this one is DOA. I'm pretty sure it had been run too low on oil and filthy oil, and it blew out the rod, and I think it just gave up the ghost because it was loud. That or there's something loose inside. I won't know until I take this apart one day. So that's a sad thing. Hate wasting time on an engine like that and have it stop. That's internal damage, but it was bad oil. It was sludge. It was solid and thick. I did change the oil, of course, which is also, you know, a shame, because if I gut this out and rebuild it internally, if it's worth it, then all that oil comes out. But it was running for a couple of seconds. Sorry I didn't get to show you because it died. Like I said, 10, 15, 20 seconds and it was done. Now it's seized up. So I guess it was the rod. It was certainly the rod was giving me trouble. So that's the end of this. I will put it off to the side and start working on another engine and come back to this maybe in the winter or in a future project. But for now, it's DOA. Well guys, it is small engine day today. This one has no spark. I'm happy I opened it up before trying anything. No, because the gas line had been chewed off and was no longer connected. So there's that, and it has no spark. Could be simple. There's some rust on the flywheel. Might be a very simple fix, but no spark usually gets set aside first. I've got another snowblower here I'm working on. Does have spark. I put a couple drops of gas in it. It fired great, but it's got, looks like pure motor oil in the gas tank. Why, I don't know. So right now I'm in the process of trying to take off the gas tank so I can reach the carburetor, because you can't get in here. This cover doesn't come off. This cover and this cover, everything's attached to the motor. I'm not pulling the motor just to clean the carburetor. So I'm going to see if I can get the gas tank out. I just removed the screws and see what I can get going on in here. But that gas tank looks like it's full of motor oil, and there's nothing coming out when I took the fuel line off. So I'm going to have to clean that. Well, it ran. I managed, by using the primer and spraying carburetor cleaner in the inlet and in the air intake, in the gas inlet and the air intake, I was able to get it to start firing and actually clean its own carburetor. I realized there's no bowl in this carburetor. It's very, very, very simple. So by just spraying carburetor cleaner up inside and up and through here, back and forth and running it, I was able to get it going. But it's I think that was motor oil they put in there for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know what somebody did with this machine. But looks like it had pure motor oil in it. The upside is, if that's the case, that's definitely didn't have any wear on that cylinder sitting there all this time. So I'm going to put it back together, put the original fuel line on, and put the gas can back inside properly, and run it a while and see if it'll clean itself out. If so, we're going to have a very nice machine for sale here. now I'm working my own wood chipper. You may remember from in the spring, I think it was. This is one I brought back from New York when we moved, and it was seized up. You can see a little ring of rust still on the lip there. The piston was seized up, the valves were seized up, everything was seized up. Now, I haven't touched this since the spring because I had other things to do. Now the fall is here and I need this running. The intake valve was sticking on me a little bit, so I took off the cover for the valve springs and I started working it with a little rubber mallet. I'd give it a tap and I'd spin it around and give it a tap and spin it around, and now we have a perfectly smoothly working engine. Now I'm going to get a flashlight and I'm going to check those valve seats. Obviously I can't do a compression test as is. There's no scoring in the piston at all, so I don't think that the rings are that worn, and I think this just had a bad life sitting outdoors. My guess is it wasn't used all that much. Rather, it was just abandoned and not used. But there's no real wear in the cylinder, and I got all the dirt out, and I've got some heavy lube on it, and I'm just spinning it around, making sure everything seats, make sure everything works well and everything seats well. But the valves were sticking down inside here in the housing. The intake valve specifically was sticking, and I got it freed up by just working it. Just working it and working it and working it. See? It's going. Got it going. And it sparks. I put the spark plug on it and I spun it and it sparks good. That's a good thing. So this old machine might run again. I am possibly going to get it going right away. I'm just double checking the... Yep, it's on there. Double checking everything. Like I said, I'm going to open up the valves all the way and check the seats, give them a visual inspection and see how they look. If they don't look too bad, then I'm going to run it. But definitely the piston looks good, or the cylinder looks good. So we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, I've got the valve cover gasket in there. I've got the head on and I've torqued down the bolts. I've got to clean the carburetor yet. I am not going to put that on without cleaning it, and so that'll be another day because it's dinner time and I have to go in, and then Melanie wants to relax tonight, so that'll be the end of that. Gotta get the shroud on. I did mention that it does have good spark. I put the spark plug in and held it to the frame, and I spun the flywheel by hand, and it sparks really nice. So that's definitely a bonus. That's very good news. So this is going to run. If it's got good compression, it's going to run. I'm pretty sure. And from the looks of it, I checked the valve seats with a flashlight. They looked pretty good. I didn't have my tripod in here, and there's not a lot of room because I'm surrounded by engines. There's a generator right here. There's the box of parts for this one here. There's a toolbox here. There's a snowblower here. There's an engine behind me. There's an engine I'm working on here. And then there's another one over here. There's another one there and another one there. So I'm a little bit surrounded right now. Like literally on all sides of me. So I didn't have room for the tripod. But if I do another full rebuild next time, I'll show you step by step thoroughly. I think this is going to run. So guys, I'm going to sign off, and we'll see you tomorrow. This is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Please like, subscribe, and share, and follow our daily videos as we strive to become fully self-sufficient and off the grid on a budget. And repairing engines for other people is part of self-sufficiency in that we provide our own income. Talk to you later.